We got sent home and asked to work from home on the 7th. I started getting phone calls about that there's a fire in the mountains. You couldn't smell it, couldn't see it. We had no clue. So I go outside and I'm filming kind of like the winds and the trees, and I turn around and I see at a distance about maybe like 4 miles away that there is a huge fire. So we grabbed some bags, grabbed our emergency bag that has all our documents in it, and left our home with a night bag. We're trying to help people as they're leaving, see that people are struggling to get things in their cars. We stop, we try to help, and try to find where we're gonna go. Then the next day at 5 a.m., I could not sleep. We were in a hotel. So I woke my husband up and I'm like, let's go check on the house. As we start approaching a little bit north, closer to our house, all of those houses are like burned down to the foundation. Still, the optimist in me is like, there's been fires up here before. It didn't get our house. And I'm still trying to be optimistic. And we finally arrived to Altadena Drive in Fair Oaks. I'm 1 street north of there. And all of those houses are gone. I didn't even want to look over to the right of where I live. I'm just sticking to the left. But I finally turned my head. It's giving me chills. I finally turned my head and I'm like, the entire neighborhood north to south is just gone. There's nothing.
It's always been something I've loved doing, is to help those in need. At the time, I had a 3.5-month-old. It wasn't something I was able to just leave home and just go sift through ashes. I basically asked all my friends everywhere if they had friends impacted. And then I did reach out to Tony, who's a firefighter in Pasadena. And then he gave me 5 friends of his, Jenny being one of them. And then with Joanne, we were able to compile a wish list from each of the families I was helping. We were able to buy them goods that they needed with the help of, I believe, the Bel Air Fire Fund.
Every single day since this fire, she is sending me some kind of resource for me to gather whatever it is that I need, and constantly is asking me if there's anything I need, how can she help. So I come here and everybody's so friendly here and, talkative, and I'm just introducing myself. And some young lady asked me, hey, can you help me with this couch? So I'm like picking up the couch and I'm moving the couch. I'm like, okay. This young lady comes and she's like, hey, do you mind if I film you? And I'm like, sure. So then she's also, what brings you here? And I'm like, oh, I'm here to get resources. And she's like, wait, and you're helping? And I'm like, that's just how I was raised. That's who I am. I see that you guys need help, so let me help you. So I'm basically telling her the story of the day of the fire and everything. I'm crying, they're crying from hearing my story, and I'm like feeling bad, that I'm making everybody cry. And Pastor Drew comes up to me and he gives me a hug, and he's all, I'm Pastor Drew, and he says, I have a friend, his name is Anthony, and he's been called to build 7 homes, and you're gonna be the first one. And I'm like, excuse me?
I want to be part of it, so if you're willing to have me.
Absolutely. Where do I sign? And as we're standing there telling the story, the gentleman who runs Project Blessing says, and I'm gonna furnish your home. And I was like, no, you can't. I'm like, this is too much. Just incredible, like the kindness in people that you don't even know us, and the willingness to help was just so amazing. Definitely, God's doing that this happened the way it happened. Anything helps. Giving somebody a hug, handing somebody a plate of food is just, hey, I'm listening to you. Do you need something? To have a conversation with someone is become priceless.
Pastor Drew has always mentioned we should be the church at work. And as a community, we are able to do the work of God, of spreading love.
We're gonna be okay. And it's gonna be not just through, self reflection and pushing forward, but we're gonna be okay thanks to people that are willing to help us. Community, it's key. It really is.